Science Learning Center was part of a DOE initiative in the late 80s to start magnet schools so that there would be a unique learning center at certain schools across the state, and it would be a draw for students from all over who wanted to learn about a specific topic. So for ours, because Waiʻanae High School is right on the ocean, marine science was like the automatic go-to idea. At that time, there was a big amount of startup funding, and the original coordinator for the Learning Center, Susan Lum, decided that an aquaculture facility was the way to go because she saw aquaculture as an emerging career path in Hawaii. So to have a facility where the students can learn and be trained and get science in a hands-on setting while also being near the ocean. So we do a lot of different types of science. I mean, the basic scientific inquiry. So they'll do a general, like a guided project as juniors, and then as seniors, they design their own inquiry project where they collect data and do a capstone project and report on their findings. They learn a lot of water chemistry because for a lot of our species, knowing about the pH level, the required temperature, the oxygen and things like that, they have to have a firm understanding of that to keep the species alive in the tanks. We also do like large picture stuff. We talk about climate change, we talk about ecosystems and watersheds, but then we also offer them opportunities to explore what they're interested in. So if say they're really interested in kalo, they can design a project based off of that and learn more about that specific plant. They have to quite frequently use water quality equipment. So dissolved oxygen meters, pH pens, refractometers to measure salinity. Those are like tools of the trade that they have to know how to use. Even things that may not seem that technologically advanced, like digital scales, microscopes, they build those skills with that technology and get comfortable with it because it's part of their day-to-day curriculum. It's connected to something they need to keep alive, right? Like the species that we have. And then hopefully they're more comfortable with those technologies when they go into more higher level science classes in college and things like that. Often the engineering is part of either they're going to grow something in a system and they have to understand how that system works, or if they're more of that building and engineering minded student, they might take on a project that pushes them beyond just setting up something that already has instructions and designing their own type of system, trying to figure out more efficient ways to move air, more efficient ways to move water. On these large ogo tanks, there's actually an airline design that is not our original design. We used to have airlines in a ring because we want to tumble the seaweed. It helps us get a higher volume in the tank. It helps the seaweed grow better. But that ring design would cause a lot of die-off from the seaweed getting stuck between the drain pipe and the ring. So a student proposed, hey, can we do a different airline to try and move the air differently so that we don't have that problem? The seaweed's still tumbling, but we don't have the problem of it getting stuck. So that was a student-initiated project. One of the most basic math skills we practice early on is volume calculations, doing conversions so that you can have an accurate idea of the volume, and then utilizing the volume to understand what is the stocking density, the ideal stocking density. Even simple math, when they take water quality data, they need to look at the parameter that they get and see is it within the optimum range for their species. So doing that type of really basic math. They also will calculate feed rate. So we grow out shrimp for the students to eat. They get them as post-larval shrimp, and then we transfer them up. Every couple weeks, they'll get an average weight on their shrimp, calculate what the feed rate should be for that tank, and then weigh out the food. So that way they're making sure we're not wasting feed, but we're not underfeeding and causing issues within the system. And it's real world problem solving. So whatever the issue is, whether it's a biological issue, chemical issue, technology issue, or even a social one. So the fact that they're invested in the program, that they see themselves as part of a team, as part of this learning community, they're a lot more willing to do things that are kind of higher level academics because it's connected to something that they care about and they're interested in.